When it comes to old video games, there can be plenty of weird glitches hiding just beneath the surface. Some of them can be a little odd or quirky, while others can be outright disturbing or game-breaking. Did you know that in Final Fantasy IV, you could accidentally trigger a massive glitch by entering and exiting certain doors over and over? It could make the game unplayable or even corrupt your save file, causing permanent damage. A pretty nasty glitch, I think you'd agree. Not too long ago, we took a look into the glitches of Digimon World 2. Most of them were pretty tame by comparison, although we did find a zombie Digimon which was pretty funny. But today, we are about to take a look into Digimon World 1. This game is infamous for being filled to the brim with all kinds of glitches, from the mundane to the insane. The programming for this game really does seem like it's being held together by duct tape and prayers, and not even good quality duct tape either. While it is impossible for me to cover every glitch in this game in one video, today we will take a look into some of the most bizarre ones I've found. If you're a big fan of this game, then you may have seen a few of them already, but trust me, there will be at least a few here that you have never seen before. I hope you've got some popcorn or whatever snack you prefer, because it's time to dive into the craziest glitches of Digimon World 1. Let's start with something fun. In this game, when your Digimon passes away, you then get the opportunity to get a brand new baby Digimon, straight from the egg, so you know it's as fresh as possible. None of that processed stuff. Normally, you won't be spending much time with the baby, or even in training level Digimon, as you'll soon be united with a rookie Digimon like Agumon or Palmon. If you want the numbers, then a baby will digivolve into an in-training Digimon after 6 hours have passed in that form, while an in-training Digimon will turn into a rookie after 24 hours have passed. This is the natural order of things around here. But what if we decide that we want to get in the way of nature itself? For this, we're gonna go and get ourselves a Giromon. Ain't he adorable? We're gonna hang out with the little guy for a while. Soon, he'll begin to digivolve. And here we have a Tanemon, at least I hope that's how it's pronounced. Anyway, this guy is pretty cute, right? Kinda makes me wish it could stay cute forever and never had to grow up. Well, actually, that can be arranged. You see, Tanemon has two potential Digivolutions, Betamon and Palmon, and they have the same weight requirement and similar stat requirements. Usually, when it comes to in-training Digimon, their possible rookie Digivolutions have different stat requirements, so that at least one of them will be accessible no matter what stats you train your baby or in-training Digimon in. In the case of Tanemon, however, neither Digimon needs offense as the highest stat. So if offense was indeed the highest stat for our Tanemon, while the weight was less than 10 or more than 20, then our tiny green friend won't be able to digivolve into Palmon or Betamon. So what will happen in this situation, you may be wondering? Well, it's simple. You'll get your wish, dear viewer, for this Tanemon will stay this way forever. Yup, if things remain this way, this Tanemon will never digivolve. This was certainly an oversight by the developers. You could train this guy to really high stats if you wanted to, but in-training Digimon can't get into tournaments legitimately, which is unfortunate. Maybe you could take it to Mount Infinity, but having access to only a weak bubble attack might be a hindrance over there. But it could be a pretty big flex, I suppose. If nothing else, it'll look cute. What could be more important than that? But I suppose it would be pretty sad when it eventually passes away. But that's the harsh reality of this world, is it not? All Digimon, no matter how weak or strong, will pass away. You'll have to learn how to say goodbye when the time comes. But what if you really want to hang on to your Digimon, no matter what it takes? Well, there may be a way to do that. I'm gonna load up one of my old save files for this. Let's take a look at this Skull Greymon. He may look threatening, but he only has a couple of minutes of lifespan left. The Grim Reaper is gonna come for him as soon as I load up this save. I don't have any Chain Melons or Digi-C Basses on me at the moment, so there's nothing I can do, or so it would seem. Let's load up this save file again. This time, I'm gonna head outside. You know, get some fresh air or something. But once I am outside, I am not gonna move a single muscle. This might appear to be a strange thing to do, just hanging outside of Digimon's house like this, but there is a reason for it, trust me. As for what that reason is, have you noticed that our Skull Greymon has not passed away yet? It's been long enough, so what's happening here? Is this some kind of magic trick or something? Well, here's the thing. This spot, right outside of Digimon's house, is special. If you're standing right here, your Digimon will not croak, even if it no longer has any lifespan left. The reasoning behind this, from what I understand, is that there are certain tiles in the game where your Digimon will not be allowed to pass away. There is another tile, right next to the waterfall where the eventual bridge to Mount Infinity shows up, where a similar effect can be accomplished. And these tiles have events tied to them at some point or another, such as crossing the bridge or getting ambushed by Greymon. And the trigger for your Digimon to be silenced forever is turned off on these tiles. Your Digimon can continue to exist perpetually if you want them to. You can't move from this spot, however, as the Digimon will literally fall apart as soon as that happens. It may be a sad, pointless existence, but if you want to hold on to your partner for as long as possible without using chain melons or stuff like that, then this is an option. Although I am not sure how your Digimon will feel about this. As for me, I guess this Skull Greymon is doomed to crack that neck of his forever. Or until it turns into a Sukamon. Dang, being an unmoving, living poop forever. The price for immortality is steep, huh? Our next glitch involves the Ogre. We can run into him a bunch of times during a playthrough of this game. The Ogre and his posse pretend to be big-time bandits, but they are pushovers. The very first time we find them, we do end up getting ambushed by them. But even after that, they always seem to be one step ahead, as they always manage to get away at the end of the day. Even during our last encounter at the drill tunnel, the Ogre just gets tired of this whole routine and joins the city. Wouldn't it be fun if we could get the jump on them at some point? Get one step ahead of them for once. Well, that's exactly what we're gonna do, in a way. For this one, I'll use an Angemon. Also for this glitch, we do need to open up the inner room inside Digimon's house first. This can be accomplished by recruiting Angemon from the Ice Sanctuary or the Monzaemon suit. On this save, I went with the Ice Sanctuary route. We also need to be done with the initial drill tunnel storyline, at the end of which we'll be able to open up a tunnel to Gear Savannah. After that, we need to beat the diddly out of Ogremon and his friends a total of 3 times. After the first encounter, they'll hide out in the Ogre Fortress. After beating them there, we'll have to locate Waman in Friesland, who'll guide us to the secret beach cave, where we will have our third encounter with the filthy ogre. With that done, we are almost ready. If we were to go to the Gear Savannah entrance to the drill tunnel, our character will have a bad feeling about going in there now. So what do we do then? Well, there's only one thing a reasonable person can do in such a situation. I am gonna get this Angemon sick, so he can pass out and lose one of his 3 lives. I used a happy mushroom to accomplish this, but you can use whichever method you feel like using to hurt your Angemon. Be creative if need be, and have fun with it. Treat him like the piece of trash that you think he is. Anyway, eventually the sickness will do its work, and Angemon will be able to take no more. After Angemon passes out, we'll end up in Digimon's house. Now, there's a good chance, if we get the conditions right, for Angemon to begin to digivolve. We now have a Devimon. Once the Digivolution sequence ends, we'll see this text box pop up. Without closing it, we're gonna head into the inner room. You'll now notice that the text box is still on screen. Normally, that's not supposed to happen. With that done, we're gonna head all the way back to the back entrance of the drill tunnel, which we couldn't get into earlier. Let's try going in again. Oh, it appears that the bad feelings and vibes are gone, and we can just go in now. After getting through the Trimojimon dialogue, let's go further in, towards the other entrance. Check this out. We finally have the drop on the ogre and his crew. They really didn't expect us to come in from the back door, it seems. Nobody ever expects that. The Agumon are ready to give up right now, but the ogre won't even acknowledge our existence verbally, although he does keep his eyes on us in a creepy way. Essentially, the final encounter with the ogre won't start until I step on a certain tile. Until then, I can just hang around with them if I want to, although it serves no real purpose to do that. But hey, it's still kinda fun to see this, and we got to mess with that pesky Digimon as well. I call that a pretty good day. The next glitch should be pretty well known to most people who've played Digimon World 1, but I still think it's worth checking out again. Once you complete the Factorial Town storyline, you'll be able to recruit Andromon and Giromon to the city. Andromon does nothing but hang around occasionally, but Giromon is different. He is not going to the city to make it a better place for you and the other Digimon, no. His intentions are more malicious. You see, you can find him in the restaurant in town, where he has, apparently, set up a jukebox. That's pretty nifty, right? You can listen to all your favorite tracks for free. So what's the catch? Well, it's nothing major really, but whenever you try to play a track, you can just crash the game. I never did trust that Giromon. This glitch was apparently fixed in certain other versions of the game, but it is a thing in the US version. So whenever you do want to listen to some music from this game, find another way. I suppose Digimon World 1 did try to warn us about this Giromon. We should have paid attention. For the next glitch, we're gonna head over to the Green Gym. In Digimon World 1, this is the place you will spend most of your time in during the majority of playthroughs. You gotta pump those stats up before you can do anything of note. Whether you're trying to beat a hard boss or just trying to get a cool ultimate level Digimon, you gotta put in the work in the gym. Now, when you try to train at any station, you will see two options. The normal training will give you a predictable result, while the bonus one will have you spin a roulette wheel. If you do get the right symbols to line up, you can get a huge bonus. But that is pretty difficult to do, to be honest. You have to line up the slots one at a time and hope for the best. The glitch I'm about to show you will not improve your chances of landing the right combinations, but it is going to be pretty cool to see. So what we have to do is open up the card menu and choose our own card. I'm going to quickly select and deselect the card over and over. When done right, the card will get stuck on screen. Well, we've screwed up the game. Awesome! Now then, if we were to select the bonus training option now, we can stop the slots at once instead of doing it one at a time for each column. Isn't that something? If you move to other screens, you'll get to see more and more weirdness show up on screen. Like, take a look at this. How impressive is that? And if you were to start a battle, you'll get to see even more awesome things. What a nifty glitch! But maybe you want a glitch which is a bit more useful. Well, let's see what we can do about that. This is a glitch which I've shown in a recent video, but I'll go over it again for those who didn't watch that one, and for those who forgot about it already. You can do this pretty much near the beginning of the game. First up, you're gonna recruit Agumon to the city. Make sure you keep the small recovery which can be dropped from Agumon. Next, head to the Mangrove region and recruit Betamon. Once that is done, you'll have to go back and forth between the Overdell and Overdell Cemetery until a Super Veggie spawns in the cemetery. With that done, we are ready to go. We'll simply run into Bakemon and start pressing the start button over and over until we touch the Super Veggie. Now, it will seem like we're talking to the Bakemon even though we are not. Choose the options that would lead to not recruiting him and then try to pick up the Super Veggie again. This will cause the text box to get stuck on screen. Now, we'll leave the cemetery and go into the Overdell again, where we will be attacked by the Dark Rizamon. Open the inventory and move the small recovery to the bottom left slot, and keep the inventory open. Eventually, the Agumon will be knocked out. That's fine, he needs to suffer for our goals. Once we get back to File Island, we'll go through the usual dialogue with Digimon. Next, it's time to head over to the Betamon's shop. Here, we'll talk to Betamon over the counter to get rid of the initial text. And now, we will open the Tamer menu and close it immediately, which will cause it to glitch out. While the glitchy Tamer menu is still on screen, we'll talk to the Betamon to get into the shop. We'll choose the sell option first, and back out immediately and choose the buy option. And here, we finally have access to the glitch shop. There are other methods and ways to get here, but I find this to be the quickest and easiest one. In this shop, we can have access to all kinds of items, some which we aren't supposed to be able to buy in shops, and some which we aren't supposed to find at all. We can also get many glitch items here, which can be used to manipulate the data of the game. You can check out the glitch playthrough video I made recently to see how you can utilize this glitch to skip pretty much the entire game. It's really insane, let me tell ya. Just be careful with the glitch items. You could break the game if you buy the wrong stuff. Just like in real life, be careful what you buy from shady stores. You might end up with something far worse than what you bargained for. For the next glitch, we're heading over to the Freeze Land. This place is quite well known for a particular character who can help you make more bits than you ever dreamed of. There are a bunch of Digimon around here who you can trade items with. This particular one gives you a very nifty item in exchange for a medium recovery. The recovery you can buy in town for 500 bits, while the item you get in exchange for it can be sold for 2000 bits. You see where this is going, right? While this Digimon is obviously very useful, he might not be completely harmless. You see, every time you trade with him, he moves around a bit. And if you trade enough times, he might move to a spot which would make it impossible for your character to leave. Was this what this Digimon was after all along? That might very well be true. You can escape from this wretched place if you have an autopilot on you. All the more reason to always keep one of those on hand. You never know when you might meet a scary snowman out there. But of course, dangerous Digimon aren't the only ones we gotta be careful of. Sometimes, the environment itself can become a trap, or even a portal to a different dimension. We're gonna stay in Freeze Land for a bit longer, and head over to the screen which leads to the Ice Sanctuary. Here, we're gonna try to leave the bounds of reality itself, and find a place hidden behind the walls of ice surrounding us. If we keep moving towards the bottom left without leaving the screen, it is possible for us to go out of bounds, to a forbidden place where the camera cannot follow us anymore. If we move around here long enough, we will find a place spoken of in old myths and rumors. A place never meant to be discovered by human eyes. The dark native forest. It looks like our character has been lost to the darkness. It may seem like we can't do anything, but we can actually still move around here. From what I understand, native forest is the placeholder name for whenever we end up in a place the game does not understand. Maybe this is the native forest for the shadow people or something. It is actually possible to escape this place and even warp to other places from here. On this occasion, I warped to the Ice Sanctuary screen by moving to the left. But this whole thing definitely scared the poop out of this Numemon here. I suppose we got lucky this time. Many have wandered into the dark native forest, never to be seen again. What other secrets could be hiding beneath this frozen wasteland, I wonder? And now, it's time for our last glitch for today. It's time to take a look into my favorite glitch of Digimon World 1 so far. You know, many people have wondered what it was exactly that made Pokemon more popular than Digimon. Was it the cute creatures like Pikachu? I don't know. I think Digimon had plenty of cute monsters of its own. Was it the better designed games? Was it because it had Missing No? Maybe. But here's a wild idea. What if everyone thought Pokemon was better because of shiny Pokemon? The red Gyarados blew everyone's mind back in the day. People spent and continue to spend hundreds and thousands of hours hunting for shiny Pokemon. I mean, sure, there were palette swaps of certain Digimon, but they were considered entirely different Digimon altogether. This is something Digimon did not have, right? Well, what if I told you that you could get shiny Digimon in Digimon World 1? I'm sure you're all thinking, that's impossible, editor man. You're mad. I am calling my mommy. But wait, don't call your mommy just yet, my friend. Let me show you how to find the hidden, secret shiny Digimon. First, you have to start a Digivolution in some way. And what better Digimon to try this with than our old friend, McLean? Now here's the tricky part. As soon as the Digivolution process begins, you'll have to eject the game disc and put in a different one. This is easy enough to do on an emulator, but can be a bit risky to do on an actual PlayStation, as you risk damaging the games. But after you put in a different disc, the Digivolution process will continue, although there might be some audio issues. Before we see the result of the Digivolution, the game will freeze. Understandable. Now, we put the Digimon World 1 disc back in and wait for it. Behold, the mythical, creepy green Skull Greymon. Is that a shiny Digimon or what? But I suppose we shouldn't have tried this on McLean, huh? Trying to corrupt a hero corrupted the entire game. Now let's take a look at the player model and oh my god, what kind of nightmare creature is this? Okay, well, you all wanted shiny Digimon, so that's the price we had to pay. Check out the powerful roar of this green Skull Greymon. Very neat. Anyway, let's try to find some other variations. Let's give this another go and see what kind of abomination we can find.
No, God!
Oh dear lord, it's a terrifying Skull Greymon of affection. The Love Greymon. Truly a creature that should not exist. The ogre saw this happen and was like, what in the world did you guys do? He literally would not leave me alone after this. The funny thing is, he is supposed to be looking out for shady people around the city. What could be worse than seeing Love Greymon in the flesh? And in case you're all wondering what this thing's roar sounds like, well, here you go. What a beautiful voice this Love Greymon has, right? And if you praise or scold it, yes, it gets better. Oh yeah, this definitely sounds like a voice coming out of a creature that looks like this. You're all watching whole new creepypastas come to life here, you know. But maybe we should give the other Ultimate Greymon Digivolution a shot and see what kind of monstrosity we can conjure up next. Oh, it's the cute Slenderman face Greymon thing. Wonderful. Well, this creature is so awesome that it literally caused Missing No to show up here. We can't interact with it, but hey, that's still pretty cool. Everyone, say hi to Missing No. But the ogre, he has seen enough. He wants nothing to do with us anymore. He knows we are bad news. Honestly, I get it. I wouldn't want to be around this thing either. Next, let's try to find a shiny rookie Digimon. And what better rookie to look for than the fan favorite Agumon? Ah yes, it is the special Cursed Agumon. I think it looks way better than Snow Agumon or the many other variants of Agumon that came later. This is the real deal, brother. The power of this Digivolution even made this Kabuterimon shiny. Now that is pretty cool. The Kuwagamon seemed unaffected by this, which is unfortunate. I was curious though, what would happen if a shiny Digimon tried to Digivolve without me using the quote-unquote shiny finding method? Well, let's find out. It turns out that Digivolving gets rid of all the glitches, shininess of your Digimon. I suppose it would be best to do this with ultimate level Digimon. If you intend to go shiny hunting on your own, do keep in mind that you might cause significant harm to the digital world in your pursuit of Digimon which were never meant to see the light of day. Shiny hunting may be a nice way to pass some time in Pokemon, but that's definitely not the case here. The entire world can fall apart as these nightmare-fueled Digimon start showing up. I know I won't be sleeping well tonight. Well then, we saw a whole bunch of crazy stuff today, but this one took the cake for me. Which glitch did you like the most? And on that note, which shiny Digimon did you like best? Do let me know in the comments. And now, it's time for a shout out to the people who keep the lights on around here. Thank you Chaos Untold, Vanilla, Maxer5000, Blake CN1, Spider President, and our newest members Yogg and Hero Emblem for supporting this channel. And there is no way I can forget our dear buddy Megtival. The power of your friendship continues to inspire us every day. Thank you, my friend. And of course, this shoutout would be thoroughly incomplete without mention of the amazing, the one and only Shamain. And I hope I am pronouncing that right. Thank you for being a mega awesome person and for keeping the spirit of nerdhood alive. You are the best. Well, that's all I have for you today. If there's anything we've learned today, it's that even if the digital world may seem like it's falling apart around you, you can still count on your partner to be there for you, no matter what form they may end up taking. But don't try to go too deep into these glitches. After all, what would you do if one day your partner disappeared too?